peace, only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We're doing the Atlantic City tour. We just won for Death Guard about a week ago, so we had a lot of time to kind of plan out and see what kind of videos we're going to be making. We're going to be doing a picture-by-picture, turn-by-turn for each game coming up in the series. We're going to go over what we did good, what we could have done better, and what our opponents did into us and what we could do into our opponents. So we're going to go over each game. If you guys are Patreons, all these videos go ahead of time on patreon.com. I wouldn't be doing this without my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation, you guys get a coach in your corner. If you guys just want to support the channel and have first access to these videos, or get your own little Patreon link that you can message us over at the Patreon with all the other Dirtbags. So that is that, or the competitive Dirtbags, you get to message me one-on-one or another coach, and then Grandmasters, you get one-on-one coaching and a call to go over like battle reports or GT prep, stuff like that. It's always good to have that professional coach in your corner. But with this Atlantic City Open, we were 4th last year, so we had to take our revenge out this year, and insane competition. But there was a 8-player team tournament going on in Atlantic City at the same time. So the singles tournament was announced after the team tournament. So there was about 110 players, give or take, but literally the best players in the Northeast. I think the Northeast meta is just insane. So we got to still play a lot of good players. So if you guys are new to the channel, thanks for clicking on the video. We were #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world last year. The year before that, we were #1 Grey Knight player in the world. So this year we're going for #1 Death Guard player in the world. There's a lot of good competition out there, especially the disgustingly resilient guys. So if you guys are friends with them, hit me up, because we're trying to do a collab and get all the Death Guard players on the same channel. But this is going to be fun. We're going to go over every game, picture by picture, turn by turn, and what we could have done better. And getting into the final game, the first 5 games, or 4 or 5 games, are going to be recorded this way. And then the last 2 games are going to be on War Games live stream, which I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video over that. Somebody let me know in the comments below. If you want me to go over the live game, I might just fast forward and kind of go over key points on what we did good and could have done better. I've never done that before, so that would be new. And then I'm going to leave those in all the links below. But again, if you are Patreons, this is going to be uploaded ahead of time on patreon.com, so that way you guys get first access to it. So guys, let's get into the quick sponsors, and then we'll get into our first game, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, if you want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. The description below has the link. All these shirts are up for sale. These legit red, white, and blue shirts look fire at a GT. They're super comfortable, super non-shrinkage. It's just a really, really nice shirt. Spent a lot of time picking out the right shirt. All these designs are up for sale. All the stickers as well. And if you guys need some models, we got the Cypher, which is legit. We got the Tech Marine with Grey Knight bits. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Captain, the Kaldis Assassin should be in every list, and old school Codiez. We have the widgets, 6-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, half-inch. We have our objective markers, which are great for sticky objectives, any marking for oath, anything like that, and all of the stickers. So hit me up on Discord, DM, that's how you get a hold of these, and the merch tab below for the shirts. Now back to the video. All right, guys, game 4, day 2, first game of the day. We're going into another Dirtbag, local dude. We haven't played. I think I've seen him before. I've seen his like colorful tanks. He was super nervous going into the game. I was like, bro, calm down. It's gonna be a fun game. Haven't seen a guard like this before, so it was super cool. He had the kind of like the perfect counter to go into our Death Guard. So we're gonna go over what we did good, how to kind of play into guard, and what to look out for guard. So with this game, it's take and hold, basic. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. We're playing the, is it the Dawn of War? Yeah, Dawn of War setup. So this one's pretty easy because you're literally just 18 inches forward. There's 3 in the center. And that's about it. Yeah, I don't think it was Stepping Stone. Yeah, I think it was literally just Dawn of War. So 18 inches up, both sides, 3 in the middle, and then on your home field objective. Really easy when you have sticky, because you can just make your home field sticky and then walk off it, so that we don't have to worry about getting shot from any angle. For this one, I think we reserved one of the bloat drones. Demon Prince started on the line. Morty started on the line behind the cover as much as he could. And the guard player, he had unit of Ogrins with the shields. I think they have a 4-up Inbone with a 6-up Field of Pain. -1 damage as well, which is just super tanky. We got our new shirts, by the way. Check out the merch store. There's some sick ass hats on there. But he's got the Gaunts Ghost like everybody else. He's got 2 command squads, the Kazarkin, another Kazarkin, and then a shit ton of tanks. So he's got these big battle cannons that have D6 plus 6 damage, like literally made to kill big ass targets like Morty and the Demon Prince. He's got 3 of them. So 3 big ass battle tanks, 2 of the transports that can advance and the guys can get out and still shoot, which is sick. And then 2 Rogodorns. He's got the commander dude that gives the CP still, and a scout sentinel. So pretty cool list. I was super scared going into this one. I was like, fuck, literally a guard that can have tanks that can basically 2-shot Morty. 2-shot Morty. So 2 of them get through Morty and I roll shit Field of Pain. You could literally just bring Morty down pretty easily, especially with the melters on the side. So this is our deployment. You guys can see with clock, most of the time when you see me at GTs, I usually deploy off the clock. It kind of gives you some time to go over your lists, ask any questions, what stratagems you have to look out for, gotchas, stuff like that. So when you're playing in a tournament, it's usually hard dice down. The only time they're lenient with it, if like you're top table and you're playing on stream, because then you go based off that stream clock, or you're kind of like later in the tables and it's like right before lunch or the last game of the day where the hall's open for another hour or 2. 90% of the time it's going to be dice down. So you want to practice with dice down. So when you're talking about the clock, we are starting with hour and 20 minutes because it gives you basically an extra 20 minutes in the round timer to talk, set up, and kind of like take your time before you start the game. Once that 20 minutes hits, so let's say the round starts at 1 o'clock. Once it hits 1:20, that's really when you should be starting the clock if you're still in deployment. You don't want to be messing up you or your opponent's clock without starting on time, because that could mess up your whole game. If you have to play an entire 5 game in an hour each, most people aren't ready for that. Most people in GTs can't play a full game with an hour each. It's not fun. You're just rushing. It's sloppy. So practice with an hour and 20 minutes on the clock. If you guys have extra time, like let's say you start pretty early, they give you an extra 15-20 minutes to set up, then you're good, right? But usually I started around an hour and 20 minutes when you start the game. Sometimes you can, if you have like extra time, you might switch it to an hour and 25 each. Like let's say only 15 minutes went by. So then you switch it to an hour and 22:50 each. That way you start exactly with each player having the equal amount of time. So that's my suggestion for this, because we did start with an hour and 20 minutes. All right, so Death Guard had first this game. Now, when you're setting up your Death Guard, setting up really any army that you have, you always want to prepare for turn 1 secondaries. So with this, we put our infiltrators right against 1 inch away from the wall, so that way he can't like throw a tank out and get a charge off. They're going to be there to do cleanse, getting 6 or 5 inches this way onto this objective, 5 inches this way onto this objective, and then area denial. The new one where you have to tempting target, where you have to pick one of the objectives in no man's land, or your enemy picks it, and then you have to try and get it. And then what else could be in the center? That's really mainly it. And then the Demon Prince is 8 inches away from this objective up here, so that way he could just move up 8 inches directly towards the objective to do a cleanse over here. So that's kind of what you're setting up for turn 1. Then I have my scouts right here, so they're going to either scout up forward, scout diagonal, scout mainly diagonal right to this little coven. So once they move up 6 inches, they can start right on the line most of the time, and then they scout 6 inches this way, so that way they're speed 8, so they can move up, just toe the point, or just get within 3 inches of the center to get area denial. But yeah, that's kind of what you're doing for turn 1 secondaries. Then obviously everything else, you can do like recover assets, you can do sabotage. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do on turn 1, making sure you're out of your deployment zone to do it. And you also want to set up for angles. So I have my Rhino here. The goal for the Rhino is to kind of run from here into the center to set up for the next turn. This guy's going to wait there so that way he can either poke out here and get the angle going this way, that way, or he can go this way and get the angle to like right here or straight down the line here. So he's right there, so he can go that way or that way. And then Morty can peek out here, shoot that way, or peek out here and shoot that way. So Morty's kind of like trying to protect his wings as much as possible so he doesn't get shot by this big ass battle cannons over here. He did put one of them in reserves, which is also scary. If you're a guard player, try and put your tanks in reserve. Very, very good idea. Because then almost anytime you can just walk in and get any angle you want. Because they're made to take down Morty and tanks. So if they just walk in over here, or walk in over here, or walk in over here, you get a straight line going into Morty going this way. So, and then he deploys. I think he should have deployed on the line. So the Dorn should have been up here. This Sentinel should have been probably right here. So that way it can scout sideways going this way. This tank probably should have been either replacing the Sentinel or right here in that little open, because I think one of these had a scout. Either they both had scout or this one. I think they both had scout. So if you have tanks that have scout and nothing's infiltrating you, you're gonna basically want to put scout in this little corner right here and set up all your tanks right there, or get up to there with the objective. So the Dorn should have been on the line, because if I move out, you could just overwatch turn 1, which would have been good. Like let's say my Foxes walked out, had to do an action, then you just overwatch me and kill enough of them that I can't get on the point anymore, which would have sucked. So, but yeah, Gaunt's Coast in the back, everything else kind of camping the objective, and that is it. So, Death Guard go first. Death Guard kind of play. What do we do? Do we run? No, I think this is top of 2. Or maybe we ran. Yeah, I think we probably ran just... Oh, that's what we did. Okay, so he scouted up forward onto the wall, which he was right against the wall to get the full 6 inches. So he's right against the wall. So our guys are right here. We basically measured... We were like 14 inches away, within 14. So moving 5 inches or 4 inches away from the wall. So I moved 4 inches out to here. From here to the tank was about 8 inches. So within 8 inches. So I needed a 7 on the charge. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's go for it. Because if I advance, I'm not really going to get that far. But if I make that charge, I'm able to tie this tank up and try and block most of his vehicles in his deployment zone. So if you can push guard back as much as possible, that is really going to be your goal with any army that you play. So the spawn move up. They kind of replace the Poxwalkers. They are against the wall for that extra inch because I pushed him back enough that I don't think he can get a charge off on my spawn there. The Rhino did exactly what I wanted, basically ran up to here. He is sticking out a little bit, so if he does get like a crazy line, he could potentially get this way, which he does with this tank over here. He actually let me, great player, again, this is the one where you can advance and shoot, which I didn't find out. I mean, again, I don't really know a lot about the game. It's hilarious that I can win so much but not know a lot about the game or other armies. So I find out that he can advance and charge in his phase. Now again, he probably told me. I'm just so focused on setting and deployment. So he can advance, move, and then shoot like auto advance 6 on all of his tanks, which is just fucking insane. So if you go move with auto advance 6, you're basically moving 13, 19 inches across the table. So if you move 18, 17 with the pivot, so this Dorn can go from here all the way up to here, right? And then shoot my Demon Prince. So what he did was he let me move my Demon Prince basically about a half an inch over to here and still be blown up right there. Because I think my Demon Prince was like right there, so he could have basically just been an inch over, which would have been out of the range of the move and auto advance 6. advancing and shooting is different than auto advance 6 and shoot is fucking nuts. Automatically your entire army. That is awesome. I definitely would be playing this detachment if I played guard. But yeah, so he was super nice opponent, great sportsmanship. He's got a tech priest there, I forgot. So he was able to move up the tank, basically turn it, which I guess is a tactical thing. You basically put the Dorns backwards, right? And then when you rotate them, the guns are now way further than when they started, which to me I think is like a cheeky play. But if it's legal, it's legal. So the Dorn basically starts his butt forward on the line, and then when he rotates, you gain an extra like 2-3 inches, and then you can advance. The gun can then stick out over the fucking ruin and then get in range of, for an example, a Demon Prince, which is what? Sure, here's 30 fucking inches of movement to shoot my Demon Prince. Like, that was insane. So again, super nice, great sportsmanship. Turn 1, he let me move my Demon Prince over. Now again, if I couldn't get out of range by moving him over with my movement, then yeah, 100% you could shoot me, because I would not have changed where he moved to get on that point, right? So let's say the Demon Prince, he didn't have any movement to move past this point right here. Like, he couldn't go up an extra half inch over here because he didn't have the movement. But if I couldn't get on the point and get out of this range, then yes, he could have shot me. I would have allowed him, like, yeah, dude, I can't get out of range. But since he let me go over half an inch more this way, then he was out of range and then couldn't shoot me. So he changed up and kind of like moved up a little bit and then shot this way. So this was the end of my turn 1. We made that charge, and then we basically piled in and kind of spread out a little bit more. So when we make that charge, we leave our guy on the point, because I think we had Area Denial and Extend turn 1. Like, what a great fucking secondary to get. Extend, which we got, and then Area Denial, keeping one guy within 3 inches of the center. So when we charge, we pile in towards the closest enemy unit, which would be these guys. So we pile in, stay 2 inches away from each other, little triangle, and then we stay 2 inches away to block all these guys. And then we left enough room that he couldn't get past here. But also in his ruling is when you advance, you can go within engagement range of enemy units, which again, I didn't fucking know. So he's just advancing through like my guys onto the point, which is awesome, by the way. But yeah, so that was that. We didn't really do anything else. We moved up more to try and turn him a little bit so he couldn't be shot too much. And that was our turn 1. His turn 1, got a lot of shit to kill. So basically he moved up the guy around my thing, got on the point. Dorn didn't really move anywhere. He kind of like scooted up a little bit. Shot there. These guys stayed in combat, but they got out on the other side of the wall. Or no, they got out. They didn't get out. They stayed in the vehicle. Then the Dorn moved up to this little position. The Tech Priest moved up because he had recover assets and storm hostile objectives. So recover assets he did with the Tech Priest. That's where that die was. So the Tech Priest was there. These guys scooched up. This tank scooted up a little bit. That one tank that was here advanced through the little 2-inch gap and then up to here. So that vehicle is right here. And then the guys got out. He basically had line of sight to my spawn, my Rhino, and my Demon Prince. I didn't think the Meltas and Plasmas were going to do anything to Demon Prince, so I wasn't really worried about that. But he did take over the objective here, which was good. So he put the guys on the objective, stole the objective, and got in Melta range of the Rhino, which he tried to blow up the Rhino instead of going either after the spawn, which would have been smart, or unload just everything in the Demon Prince and try and neuter him down to like maybe 2 or 3 wounds. But now he's got his tank right here with a bunch of guys, and then everything else basically pushed up. So on my turn, this was go turn. This was where we were like, all right, we're going to commit everything and try and keep him in his deployment zone as much as possible. None of his tanks are on the objectives like his Dorns. If his Dorns can get on the objectives, it's a lot harder to go after. So if you're a guard player and you can just camp as many of your tanks forward onto the objectives, that would be ideal. And at least take over a side. So if like most of your tanks are in this big ass open over here, Or again, over here, you can pick a side, but then stick to that side because one of these objectives should be yours the entire game. So with what we did, we moved up, we got out our spawn. So they basically moved up. They got in range this vehicle right here within 6. They got the Ogrins within 6. And I believe they got this Dorn within 6. Then down here, the Poxwalkers moved up. The Demon Prince moved up. This guy hopped over to shoot this tank. The other one came in up here to shoot this way into the Ogren. So he came in on the point because it was nobody within 9, I think. Yeah, I guess the dude was back here. The Walker. I think the Walker was like right here. So he wasn't able to be within 9. So he comes in off the table field and then shoots this way into the guys. And I didn't do any wounds. I think I did like 2 wounds or something to these guys, which was nuts. So shot them, didn't do anything. Morty peeked his wing out this way and just barely clipped this guy right here. So how you do line of sight is you clip like the top of his wing, straight line, just barely clipping it. So that way, this is the only guy that he can see. So the only way that he can shoot me back is if he gets this exact line that I'm going, which would have to be right here. So this line right here is the only way that he can shoot me. And you have to declare it ahead of time. Like you're saying, all right, this is my line. You pull the laser out. This is my line. This is where I'm barely hitting this guy right here. So this tank, for example, would have to go all the way up and put his barrel right here in order to shoot Mortarion. Right? So make sure that you're using the line of sight as best as you possibly can. So that way you can shoot and then also try not to get shot back unless it's that same exact line. And it's easier with your opponent. Like, hey, this is my line, for example. This guy's spike or back of his base is shooting directly this way right here. So if he just turns his tank this way, he'll have that same exact line. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to use the same line you used, right? There's no argument there. It's like, hey, you shot me there, I'm going to shoot you back. That's it. So you can just turn his tank and get the same exact line because you already determined what the line is. That's an easy way to go with guard and other shooting armies that you guys are going to be playing. So that's kind of what we do with all of our lines. Same with this. Like his line barely clipped here to the back of the tank's base right here. So that was we got line there, and then line going this way. So Plague Marines got out, the Flamer guys, they got out, helped kill a couple of these guys. The Demon Prince moved over here, charged this way, finished off the tank, piled onto the objective over here. There's still 2 guys left of this squad on the objective, but we have it back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got, I don't know if they're 2 each, but 2, 4. But we stole that objective back from him. Might only be 1 guy on there. And then our Death Shroud came down. So the Death Shroud came down right about here in the center. And I was going to try and kill this Dorn as much as possible. Did Typhus come down this turn? I don't think Typhus came down this turn. I don't think we needed him. Usually he'll come down when everything else comes down, just to get some line of sight, mortal wounds off to try and go into a tank. So I guess we didn't bring him down because we didn't have a secondary that we needed him with. So again, my fear is these tanks right here, that tank and that tank. So I kept Morty safe, so that way you just didn't have easy shots going into Morty. So I kept Morty safe this turn. Usually I commit him when the Death Shroud come down, but in this situation I kept him safe because he has these tanks. If he doesn't have these tanks, I can be a little bit more aggressive with him. But the goal was to get this guy within 6, which we did. So we're going to do the slingshot effect. We're going to put our guys here in the open. And if I can charge 6 this way to tag this tank, since it's on the other side of the wall, I can charge on this side of the wall, make that 6. These Death Shroud can charge right next to him, right? Make a successful charge. And then I can pile in 3 inches to the Dorn. So that guy on this side of the wall can then pile in 3 inches, which is kind of like what he did right here. So he piled in 3 inches on this side of the wall. This guy was within 1 inch of the Dorn. These two were base to base of the Dorn, and this guy was in this tank. So I think what I did was I put all 3 guys, or 2 guys into the Dorn, and then the Lord of Contagion with the other guy into this tank, and I took him down to 2 wounds. There's still a unit inside here. If I could have killed that tank, I could have popped in the unit, and just would have just annoyed the shit out of him with that unit being stuck in combat. And then over here, the spawn charged into both these guys, tug this tank to keep him in his place, and then tag the Ogren. Then again, down here, these guys just wanted to try and full send onto the Dorn. So I put everything in the Dorn with this unit, and I took it down to 6 wounds. That was after throwing a grenade. I don't think we shot it at all. And then we charged in with lethal, sustain, and lance. Awesome. It's only AP2. So with this, I probably forgot to tell you guys, but usually against guard, I choose the -1 to hit. Anytime they hit on 4s or 5s, most of the time, then the -1 to hit is so much better. So you could have done the AP with this, and it would have taken the Dorn to a 5 upstate, which probably could have killed him faster. But I want to survive a little bit more. Like, this list is built around tankiness and survivability, and just like making your opponent choose which targets to go after. So that's why we chose the -1 to hit. Okay, so that was my turn. Really good turn 2. We killed the Sentinel. We took this tank down to 2. We tied up basically everything. We killed this tank, and we took this Dorn down pretty healthy. And Morty's still alive. So on his next turn, he kept the Dorn where he was. I think he fell back the Dorn, because you can fall back and shoot with one of the tanks. So the one Dorn over here fell back and shot. So he spent a CP there. He falls back and shoots. He kills all of my dudes in this, the Lord of Contagions unit. So the Lord of Contagions is the only one left. I think he has 5 wounds left. So that means he didn't die yet. These guys got out of the transport here, and when they got out, they were able to shoot and then charge this guy to take over this objective. This guy's not the best in combat, so he's kind of just like there. He's not going to die in combat, but he can't fall back with his infantry, only tanks. So I knew that he wasn't moving for the rest of the game. He's basically just there shooting again down this line where I put him. So these Ogrins are still here, so they're able to kind of shoot this way and get into the Ogrins. And then the Rhino is trying to move up and come to its safety over here. So Morty commits. So the big tank moved up to here with the big gun. So Morty committed from over here, moved up 10, and then had like a 7 or 8 inch charge into the tank. He wipes the tank out pretty easily. The Poxwalker stayed on the point. Typhus came down over here, outside 9 of this tank, to help weaken this tank a little bit. So Typhus came down here, did an action, I think, Locus, and then shot backwards into the tank. Morty moved up, threw a grenade, weakened the tank, so I had mortals and a grenade, and then charging. So that definitely murders the tank with Morty. And then he piles onto the objective. Demon Prince is scooting up to try and go and help out with the Ogren. The leader's still alive somehow. This unit, the melee unit, got out of the Rhino before the Rhino moved, so they got out. This is sticky. This might be sticky, and this isn't sticky because he stole it. But now we're basically past the front lines into his backfield. The Dorn's all the way in the back corner. This guy walked in his own deployment zone because he couldn't really get anywhere that had a really clean line that he wanted. I guess he could have brought him in back here. No, it was turn 2. That's what it was. So turn 2, he couldn't come in my deployment zone. So that, remember that shit. So turn 2, you can't come in deployment zone. So deployment zone is here, right? I can actually edit this for you guys. I did this today with one of my Grandmasters. So if you guys are Patreons and you guys are Grandmasters, we do battle reports that we go over coaching. So I do this for you guys on a call. So let's mark this up a little bit. Okay, so deployment zone is here, right? So they can't come in here turn 2. And then if I have my Poxwalkers here, that means 9 inches is coming out to here. So he can't come in anywhere here from reserves. Now this guy was here, so he also can't come in here, but I have my Death Shroud right here. So he literally can only come in right here. Here. And I think that was it. Yeah, because my guys were right here. So this is basically the only room that he could come in at. Let's make it red. This is the only spot he can come in at on turn 2. Everything else is blocked out. Because, again, turn 2, you can't come in deployment zone. So I didn't have to block out my deployment zone from reserves. Deep strikes, yes, which is what happened over here. So the Gaunt's Ghost came down my backfield to do that. Luckily, I had my heavy blight launcher moving this way to shoot and then charge and tank shock the Gaunt's Ghost to try and keep him in combat. So if I can keep the Gaunt's Ghost on the table and just keep him in combat, that's worth this guy moving backwards to try and stop my home field objective from being destroyed. Cool, that was fun. Yeah, so that's basically what happened back here. And we're basically in a really good position right now. We have Morty on the objective, full health. We have Typhus down here. We have our full Death Shroud unit with the Lord of Contagion still alive, Demon Prince still alive, Lord of Contagion up here still alive, 1.5 Plague Marines, and a Rhino. So we're in a really good position. We have 20 minutes left. He has 14 minutes left, so we're basically winding down to turn 4, which is right here. We have 8 minutes left. He has 5 minutes left. Morty scooches up this way. There's two Ogren left, so we leave the one Ogren on 2 wounds before we get the charge off. So we take the other one down, we kill the other one, and then we leave the last one on 2 wounds, just so I have a charged target. If we kill him in shooting, we don't have anything to charge to push Morty across the table. So if Morty's still back here, right, or stuck here, he's not really in the fight next turn. So we want to use this target who only has 2 wounds left as a launching point, so that way I can charge into him, kill him, and now he's basically can do something on the last turn. Typhus moves up over here. This tank scooted over here to try and shoot Typhus. He made his 4-up inbound save. This is sticky. This is sticky. Like I said, this guy's still stuck in combat. The Rhino died, I think, to the Dorn. This guy got back up and then got tank shocked and then died, which is a good way to kill Lord of Contagions. Basically, shoot him dead, tank shock him when he gets back up, and then he dies again. So that's a really good way to kill the Lord of Contagions. And then the Plague Marines made the charge. I have everything basically trying to steal his home field objective. Demon Prince still moving up. He only took 3 wounds. I know it's weird how I counted, but he only took 3 instead of like putting a 7 dice next to him. Should always keep it the same. And then this is the final score. So couldn't really do too much on the last turn. And this is wrapping up on turn 5. So we finished up taking hold. We had 5 on turn 1, which I think was just the back objective on the home field. 10, 15, 15. So we had 45 out of 50 for secondary. Great turn 1 with a 9, 9, 8, 10, 9. So really, really good. Really, really good secondary scoring. This list does well if you're obviously in a really good position, which we were most of the game. And then for his secondaries, he had 20 out of 50. So he had 5, 10, 5, 0. And then he had recover assets turn 1, which he did with his tech priest. And then we killed his tech priest, I think, on the charge. Stormhouse objective he couldn't get, which I think you can you ditch this turn 1? I think you can ditch that turn 1. Behind enemy lines, he got with his Gaunt's Ghost. Defend, we stole it from him, so he couldn't defend. Assassinate, he got 0 on turn 4, and then marked for death. I think we just gave it to him on turn 5. So like, all right, who do you want to kill? Let's just assume you killed it. He gets it, and then end of the game, we finished up 95 to 46. So this was, I think, a really scary game because of these fucking tanks. So I had to commit because of his deployment. So the deployment, let's go back, was the only thing different really I would do is put the Dorn probably over in this side, because now you have line of sight going this way. You can fight over on this objective pretty quickly, and you're not stuck behind out of line of sight of all this ruin. So one Dorn on this side, the other Dorn is fine up here, unless you just want to put him in replace of this guy. So Dorn coming over here. So that way he can just stick his little gun out over here. He has an angle going this way and then an angle going that way. Or keep him up top here. So one Dorn going this way, one Dorn going this way. That's probably what I would have changed. This guy's fine there, scouting out to here. This tank I probably would have put so that way he can get his guys out, because he could advance like, what, 18, 20 inches, get out, and just plop his guys on the table and they blow something up. And then the Ogryn are kind of like bully boys in the center. So the Ogryn should be your guys pushing out and stopping me from getting into your deployment zone. Gaunt's Ghost, I probably would have come down on this side away from this dude. Because once you came down onto the table near this guy just basically moved back 10 inches and just kept you in combat for the rest of the game. If these guys come down back here, there's really nothing I can do to get to them because I have a tally man here. So the tally man basically has to just to run away from him, right? Or tally man has to like run at him to try and, you know, do that. And then they can just fall back and steal my home field objective. So I think I would have put them down back here, right, for a turn. So that way next turn you can move up and charge the tally man and try to do something to the tally man. But you're stealing my home field objective. So that was another thing that I think I would have done differently. And yeah, maybe reserve 2 of the big tanks. Having 2 of the big tanks come from opposite sides or even the same side and just get a straight line of sight onto something. He did come in turn 2. So when he came in the deployment zone back here, what did he have to shoot? Not a lot. He really was just trying to kill these Lord of Contagion units. So I think if he... because he couldn't get line of sight to this guy. Yeah, I don't think he could have got line of sight to that. That guy was in a good position. So the only spot really he could have came in was here, and the only thing he could shoot was these guys because Morty's back here. So bringing 2, because this guy wouldn't be tagged, bringing 2 into home field, or where this tank is, just kind of replace them. So this tank moves up, the other 2 tanks coming over here, and then you just put all 3 into this Lord of Contagion unit right there, which probably would have killed it if I don't roll my 4 upstates. But Melta's Havoc or Secret Missile and then the big gun trying to kill these guys with the Dorn probably could have wiped out this unit. And then same thing, Dorn charges in and tank shocks and kills the Lord of Contagion. And then what the fuck do I do? Does Morty just run out like guns blazing right at him? Just fucking no. Morty's gonna stay probably behind his little cover and not really do much for the rest of the game, or go up this way. So once these guys got out, Morty probably would have ran up here, charged into these guys, camped the point, and then got blown up this way by these 3 tanks. So that would have been a completely different game if he reserved this tank and then the other tank in reserves and deployed a little bit differently. But all in all, great game, fun guy, great sportsmanship. Finish off the first game of day 2, game 4, 95-46. Next game is going into, I see this guy everywhere. He's at LVO, wins all the tournament or all the painting stuff. There's my red, white, and blue GT shoes. Hey dudes. But yeah, this guy's army is amazing. So this is gonna be game 4 or game 5. We'll talk about it quickly because it was a coaching game basically. He said he flew too close to the sun. He went 4-0 with his Necron list, but he's really just going for like the hobby and playing at the same time. So you take your record plus your painting scores and you combine them together, and then you win like awards, and that's basically what he does. So one of the best custom armies I've seen. He probably is the best custom army guy in all these GTs. So we'll go over that in the next video. But guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for clicking the video. If you guys are Patreons, all these goes ahead of time on patreon.com, and you get to support the channel. If you guys are seeing me at any GTs coming up, we have LVO, Nova, Lone Star Open, and Worlds. Come up to me, give you some limited edition Dirtbag dice. All the stuff on Discord. You can message me directly for anything to order, like the widgets, dice, models, all that stuff. And then check out the store below because there's some sick ass shit on the store, especially with the hats. Hopefully a lot of people are going to be wearing the hats in the next GT. But guys, I really appreciate it. Good luck with everything. We'll see you on game 5.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get. If you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons, you guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. That is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.